Hi Newsround, this is James Waterhouse, the BBC's Ukraine correspondent, here, as always, in the country's capital, Kyiv. Now this is our television live point. The camera usually goes up there. You can see tripods where lights are put up for when it's dark, and then I usually stand over here with this view. Now, it's almost 2 years since Russia's big invasion of Ukraine. I was actually stood here as it was happening. And this invasion is showing no signs of ending. Russia is still trying to take the whole of the country, but Ukraine is doing everything it can to try and stop that from happening. And this sound of the air raid siren hasn't really gone away. It's set off when a Russian jet takes off across the border or when missiles are launched in the air. And when it happens, people have to head to the air raid shelters. This is what life is like for millions of Ukrainians across the country. Last year was a difficult one for Ukraine. It was hoping to start a massive attack to retake some of the towns and cities that Russia had invaded and kept hold of. Before that, it asked the UK and other friendly countries like the US and France for money and weapons to help with that. But it took time for them to arrive, and Russia was able to build defences like these big trenches they could dig in the soil, and as well as landmines to stop tanks. And that meant Ukraine didn't get very far. Russia has suffered a lot of losses as well. A lot of soldiers have been killed without very much territory to show for them either. As you can see in this indoor market where you can see some pickled vegetables and fruits being sold, life goes on in a way, but the streets are quieter and people are just tired in general 2 years in. For children, life is tough too. In places close to the front line or Russia itself, children are being taught underground or have been evacuated. Thousands are now living in the UK. And as for those friendly countries like the US, well, they're now questioning whether they can afford to keep supporting Ukraine. And what Ukraine says is it's not about money, it's about survival, because Russia isn't going anywhere.